am at luxury residential project Piramal Aranya that hosts Baikla's tallest tower, rising above 280 meters above the ground. The grandness is evident from the moment you drive in through the driveway towards the residence lobby. Wow, this feels like entering into a 7-star hotel. I'm at the lobby of Avian Tower, and this project offers more than 40 amenities spread across 1 lakh square feet. Whether you're a fitness freak, a book lover, a water baby, or just a connoisseur of the good life, this place has something for everyone. The saying, home is where the heart is, comes true at Piramal Aranya, which offers 2, 3, 4, and 5-bed ultra-luxury residences with green forest views on one side and blue harbour views on the other. This is a residential project like no other. With Avian Tower delivered to its residents, Arab Tower receiving OC, and Ahan Tower rising fast, this is your chance to be a part of iconic living in South Mumbai.
Working with the Chief Minister of Maharashtra is a privilege, and you gave up when you were at the height of that.
Someone who leaves IAS, किसको पागल कुत्ते ने काटा है? But ऐसी बात नहीं है. We are still continuing essentially the system that the British designed. Civil servants then were supposed to be rulers. That ruler mentality has still not gone.
कौन है असली उत्तराधिकारी बाल ठाकरे के विजन का?
जमीन पर काम करने वाले जो MLAs भी हों, they knew that actually Shivsena MLA space is reducing. They were always in contact with Eknath Shinde. So actually the day he left, he might have actually saved Shivsena.
Do you think Anna got waylaid, or do you think that the others misused Anna?
I have always been very close to Anna Hazare. Right since he returned from army, he was sort of ending up by being used by different political outfits.
The role of Savarkar, he has become a controversial figure. Everybody has a different take.
The man who completely dedicated his life in the totally selfless way, organized even armed struggle against the British, paid the price by spending over a decade at Andaman. But you want to disagree, it is still okay. But at least honor his dedication. Everything Savarkar touched is great.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching or listening to another edition of the ANI podcast with Smita Prakash. This episode is being filmed in the city of Mumbai. My guest today is Mr. Avinash Dharmadhikari, who has authored several books and mentored students who went on to join the civil service. Mr. Dharmadhikari has been working in the field of career guidance and personality development. So our conversation today is centered on those topics. Avinashji, thank you so much for coming on the podcast and speaking with us. Your career span has been extremely interesting before and after. We shall discuss your books. You have authored several books, 2 of which we'll discuss today. But before we come to this, the books, why did you decide to, first question is that why did you decide to leave the IAS? Why did you quit the IAS? Because right now, you know, the civil services, so many popular films being made on that, so much talk about corruption in the system, everybody wanting to get in. So there's a lot of focus on the UPSC exams. So here I have a person who got into the IAS and decided to leave the IAS at some point of time and do something else with his career. So tell me your journey about how you got into the IAS, why you left the IAS.
I will take this opportunity to thank you first. More than thanks, also wish you all the best.
Thank you.
It's my very happy to be here, happy to be talking to you. Now, why I left has to do with why I joined.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, sort of one-line summary will be, there were lots of plans at the time of leaving. Some of them didn't work. But one plan was to get into education. That has worked. Now, before even joining for 11 years, I was a full-time activist of a Pune-based organization. I was also freelance journalist. For those 11 years, I also participated in various movements,
Such as?
such as the farmers' movement under Sharad Joshi, or the anti-Bangladeshi infiltrators movement in Assam.
You're talking about the 80s now.
I'm talking of 80s. Same time when the initial Khalistan movement exploded in Punjab. Also the same time when Kashmir separatism had just begun. So those are the years I was working as a full-time activist, while I was having my own formal education on one side. It is those years of activism that made me aware of the potential of civil service in general, IAS in particular. I got opportunity to meet senior IAS officer Harish Chandra Sareen, who was then supposed to be sort of right-hand man of Prime Minister Indira ji. 3 different places. But Indira ji had sent him to handle the situation.
Where?
One was Kashmir. The other was this Assam, Bangladesh situation, Bangladeshi infiltrators. And the third was very explosive situation in Gujarat in May 1985. So all these 3 places. And I was able to meet him personally, talk with him.
May 95, Mrs. Gandhi had died.
85.
85.
May 85. She had died, but Harish Chandra Sareen was still sent as Prime Minister's emissary.
Okay. By Rajiv Gandhi.
By Rajiv ji. So that made me aware of the potential of IS. I thought if I have that same fire of Karyakarta of Bharat in my heart and the powers of IS officer, I would be able to serve better. That was my intention in appearing for exam. Once I cleared, I was from day one sure I'm not going to spend the whole life there. My idea was to do collectorship because district happens to be the quintessential unit of India. Once you handle district, you know how the country runs in day-to-day terms.
Which cadre did you get?
I got Maharashtra cadre.
Home cadre.
Home cadre. And I was district magistrate Raigad. My idea was also to perform various administrative reforms which would ensure clean and efficient administration. But the idea was to do that, then leave and get back into various sort of original work I was doing. By the time I was DM Raigad, Chief Minister of Maharashtra sort of happily summoned me.
Who was the chief?
This was Manoj Joshi. He wanted me to handle the Chief Minister's office. So I did it for 1 year and then resigned. So my resignation is not a negative vote to civil service at all. My resignation is not under sort of people keep thinking that someone who leaves IAS, अच्छी हिंदी में वाक्य होगा किसको पागल कुत्ते ने काटा है. बट ऐसी बात नहीं है. सिविल सर्विस में पर्सनल रूप से मैं भी खुश था और बिना मांगे मुझे एक के बाद एक बहुत बड़ी जिम्मेदारी का दायित्व सौंपा गया. But the whole idea then was get back into public life. So, like I said, some plans didn't work.
Is it that you couldn't get along with Mr. Manohar Joshi?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. In fact, since then, till he unfortunately passed away recently, we had a very close relationship. I would call it a family relationship, almost like father and son. So it is not that I could not get on.
So the Chief Minister of Maharashtra state is one of the most powerful in the country because it's one of the richest states in the country. So a Chief Minister's position is important. And to be working with the Chief Minister of Maharashtra is a privileged post. And you gave up when you were at the height of that.
Yeah.
Kyun?
The dreams of further work in education. Also like what I keep saying is some plans didn't work.
Such as?
That was to join politics. But I would prefer that to be thing of past. So that one, and my idea was to get into constructive work. My field, I always thought education is my field.
So politics, you fought as an independent against Suresh
Twice.
Kalmadi.
Yeah.
Right? So why as an independent? Why not join a political party? Because independent in Maharashtra, I don't know, Maharashtra politics, you could tell me whether that worked. Why is it that a political party didn't fit your agenda?
Yeah. Actually, it did fit. Maybe I didn't fit there. Or whatever. I mean, less said the
Jama
better.
nahi.
And less said the better.
Huh.
But with Kalmadi, these were, if I may say, the very BJP RSS people in Pune who did not like the decision of backing Kalmadi. They said we should rebel. They said you are sort of best face to do so. That was my intention of contesting the election. That was February 98. Then I had also filed for 99 election. And during that election, I had prepared a program and sent it to 23 leaders of all parties. From among them, Advani ji called me up and he said, whatever program you have said is our program. My promise, we will follow that, but withdraw from Pune. I accepted his suggestion. So I withdrew. That was that. That's it. No more sort of electoral politics.
Aam Aadmi Party didn't fit into your
Absolutely no.
scheme of things.
Not from day one. Then let me have this opportunity to say that I have always been very close to Anna Hazare. Right since he returned from army. So as back as 1977-78. I was the activist of this Pune-based educational organization. And we knew the kind of rural development initiative he had undertaken. And as Karyakartas, we were very close to him. After that, even in the service, whenever he undertook fasts, the Maharashtra administration knew my affinity with him. So they would tell me to go and convince Anna Hazare.
To break his fast.
Yeah, please break his fast. And all the time I would say, to the best of my abilities, I would convince you to reduce corruption. Points on which he is fasting are right. I would never tell Anna Hazare to withdraw his fast or whatever. This was even when I was still in the service. After I left, I started actually working with Anna Hazare. So there was a massive anti-corruption stir in 96-97, where the corruption by two ministers was exposed. They had to resign. I was very much a part of that. Then also when the right to information movement began, allow me to as politely, as humbly as possible to say that I'm among those who stated that we need to, that we need to take this up. That we can't go on fighting corruption cases individually, each one. मेरे भी 50 जीवन काफी नहीं रहेंगे, अन्ना हजारे जी के भी 50 जीवन काफी नहीं रहेंगे. What we need is systems reform, and at the top we put was RTI. Right to RTI. So RTI became a part of that anti-corruption crusade and all. Actually, over a period of time, I sort of grew apart from the whole Anna Hazare movement.
Kyun?
Not that he was not genuinely working against corruption, but he was sort of ending up by being used by different political outfits.
Such as?
Every time, the one who would be in power, and Anna's movement would be against them. So whoever would be in opposition would prop up Anna Hazare as a sort of savior or crusader, etc. I didn't think it was on the right path. So I chose to sort of wish the best but stay away.
What was it like when Anna Hazare got together with with Yogendra Yadav, with Anupam Kher, with Ashutosh, with the entire Aam Aadmi
Yeah,
party and
yeah,
Mr. Kejriwal, of
yeah.
course, and the others. Do you think Anna got waylaid, or do you think that the others misused Anna?
Yeah. From day one, my considered feel has been that he is being used. From day one, and this is what I have been telling Anna Hazare also, and that these are the people who will use you, but they have political agenda. Mark my words, they will end up by forming party, contesting elections and all. Up to a point of time, I used to also accompany Anna Hazare, even in India against corruption or the Ram Leela Maidan movement and all. I was part of those internal sort of meetings where plans about should we form a political party. My suggestion was we shouldn't.
Like Kiran Bedi and all were there at that
Like
time.
Kiran Bedi and all. were
She
there.
also didn't want.
Yeah, she also didn't want the party. So, I mean, almost with the sort of rise of Kejriwal, you may say, I decided to stay away.
Why do you think Anna Hazare was so taken in with Arvind Kejriwal initially, in spite of the advice which was given to him by people like you and Kiran Bedi and the others?
One thing could be, I mean, to the best of his thinking also, he could have seen this as developing into an all India movement. So I remember even in 96, 97, we used to think of the JP movement as sort of role model. And I'm happy to say that as a Karyakarta, back between 75 to 77, I was also part of that JP movement as a young Karyakarta. So the whole idea was that anti-corruption movement begins in one place, but it becomes all India phenomenon, which then develops a genuine alternative, even in politics, which is supposed to be sort of clean, etc., etc. So that could have been the idea. So carrying the movement from here to now, it goes to Delhi. And these are the people who have their base in Delhi. So Anna could have thought that, yes, this is a chance to make an all India impact.
You know, when you were talking about corruption, let me come to the corruption of which everybody is looking at right now, which is scaring students, scaring parents of students who give their be all and end all to get into the UPSC. And now it's come to light, which people had been talking in hushed tones earlier, but now it has come to light that people have been gaming the system. Using quotas, using caste card in this. How do you see it?
This has been a sad reality. I'm